Daniel here for Tabletop for One. Please join me at the table as I play through Chroma Mix. And I thank you for joining me for the solo playthrough of Chroma Mix. Chroma Mix is a hand management game designed by Jorge Zhang, and it's going to come to GameFound on June 1st. So please check out the links in my description for that and follow the campaign if you'd like. I've been provided with the preview prototype copy here, so the components may be changing when it comes to the publication of the game. I have not been paid for this preview. And so in Chroma Mix, you're going to be printing colors, mixing colors, and then refilling colors in order to gain these vibrant colors here, the emerald green, ruby red, and sapphire blue. You're going to try and take the light yellow, magenta, and cyan and slowly make your way to making those three cards. In the solo mode, you'll be playing against the AI known as Billy, and you'll be playing until one of the two players obtains a ruby victory, a sapphire victory, or a point victory. So the ruby victory is based on this card here. If this card here is in your play area and you have the emerald green card or the sapphire blue card in your hand or in the play area, you win the game. If you have the sapphire blue card and this is in your play area, and you have 16 cards in your hand, then you win the game. Otherwise, the game will end when you have 17 points in your play area or the AI has 17 points in their hand. And so let me explain some of the actions of the game here. So on your turn, you can do one of these three actions. You can print a card, which means to play it from your hand into the play area, and you'll resolve any of the lightning effects, which are immediate effects. And some of the cards will remain in your play area with a continuous effect. And at the end of the return, resolve any pair effects, and I'll show you what those are later. The next option is to mix, and that's where you take two cards from your hand, return them to the supply or the discard pile, and add a card matching the pigment composition from the market to your hand. And I'll explain that when I first do that action. And then the refill here is you return any number of cards from your play area, even 0, to your hand. This makes it possible to play them again later, enabling you to reuse powerful immediate effects. And then you'll resolve any jungle effects. Alright, so the setup for the game is as follows. You'll set the red, green, and blue cards here in this piles. And then we'll have the yellow, the magenta, and the soft cyan here. Your starting hand is going to consist of one of each of those cards here. And so let's go over the card anatomy here. So the card here tells you at the top the level it is. It's a level 1 card indicated by the 1 dot. And there's 1 to 4 levels. This is the name of the card here. And then it tells you if there's an effect. And this here is an immediate effect, which lets you add a cyan card here or a yellow card here. So you can add one of these to your hand. You just take them from the supply there. On the left here, it'll show the pigment composition of the card. And this is important when it comes to mixing. Because when you want to mix for a new card, you have to have the exact pigment composition when combining two cards to make another one. Again, I'll show you that later. One of the other cards is the yellow here. And this one lets you, when you play it, do an immediate refill action where you take one card from your play area and add it to your hand. But you can only do that for 1 card or 0 cards if you decide. And then the cyan card here is similar to the magenta one. Instead, you can add 1 magenta or 1 yellow to your hand when you play this card. And then you'll set up the AI deck with 2 of each of the level 1 cards and the 3 mixed cards here. And then you're going to shuffle this deck. And I'll set the AI deck here. And then you'll populate the markets for the level 3 cards here. You're going to add 6 cards to the table. And these will be cards that you and the AI will be trying to mix for. And then for the level 2s, you'll do 6 as well. Anytime a card is mixed, you're going to replace it immediately. Alright, there's a lot of cards with a lot of iconography and different effects here, and I will explain them as I go. The important thing to take note right away when you're looking at cards is whether you're looking for an immediate effect or a continuous effect. So let me show you the pair card since I mentioned that earlier. The pair card has a continuous effect that anytime you print, this is the print symbol here, you'll gain a level 1 card to your hand. And so this is a very useful card. You can have this out on your play area and keep it out on your play area. Now it does take 1 cyan and 2 yellows to mix to make this card. So you have to work your way up to mixing this card. Also, I haven't shown you up here yet, in this corner here, this tells you how many victory points this is worth. So this is worth 3 points. Again, if you have cards with victory points in your play area, and you total up to 17, you'll end the game. All the level 2 cards here, you'll notice on the left here, only require 2 pigments. So the jungle one here, which is another one with a continuous effect, requires 1 blue and 1 yellow. So you can mix a cyan and a yellow together to gain that card. And what that offers you here, this one offers that any time you refill, you will gain a level 1 card. And that works with the yellow card here. So if I had this jungle card out and I played the yellow card, doing a refill action for 1 card, that'll gain me a level 1 card from the jungle ability. So it's some nice combo action there. Alright, there are multiple levels of difficulty for the AI, and you get to choose one of them. The introductory mode has you starting first, and then the AI following. Easy mode has you letting the AI take 2 turns, and then you get your first turn. For medium, the AI gets 4 turns, and then for hard, the AI gets 6 turns before you start. I'm going to go ahead and do easy mode this round, so that means the AI is going to take 2 turns first. And the way it works is the AI gets to play 2 cards from its deck here into its hand. The AI never has a play area. It never plays cards for effects. The only effects that the AI can trigger are on the Sapphire Blue and Ruby Red cards for the end game conditions. But the cards that you play from the AI's hand are going to be used later for mixing. So on the AI's first turn here, we're going to turn over 2 cards. So 1 here, and I'll line this up over here. And then a second card here. And that's its first turn. Now its second turn, it's going to do 2 more cards. But here we go, we have a mix card. So you flip this over, this is going to get discarded. But you're going to go ahead and mix 2 cards in the AI's play area into 1 possible card from the market. Now there is a rule that the AI will mix any card that it doesn't have in its play area. So right now it only has Cyan and Magenta, and you're not going to mix for level 1 cards. So it's going to look to see what it can mix. A Magenta and a Cyan can only go into a Lavender here. And so it's going to take this card and immediately add it to its play area. But the cards that were used for the mixing will get discarded. And so I'll set that there. Now later on, this Lavender can be used for mixing into other cards. And then we'll go ahead and replace that card in the market. And then for the second card here, the AI is going to try and mix again. Now it needs 2 cards to mix. It only has 1 card in its hand. So in this case here, the mix doesn't happen and it just gets discarded. Alright, and for my first turn, I am going to use the mix action, and I'm going to want to get this jungle card. And so I'm going to take from my hand, you can only mix from your hand unless you have cards that allow you to mix from your play area. But I have my light yellow and soft cyan here, ready to go ahead and mix for the jungle because the jungle requires cyan and yellow. And so I just put those back in the supply, and I take the jungle and add it to my hand. And then I replace the card. Now, if I want the jungle's ability later, I have to have it in my play area. So it'll take a full turn to bring that out before I can start using its effects. And now it's the AI's turn, and the AI is going to mix. And again, it doesn't have enough cards to mix, so that just gets discarded. And for its second card, we play this one out. Now I'm going to play the cards for the AI that have points up in a different area here to keep track of how many points the AI has. These will still be used for mixing. It just helps me keep track of their points. Alright, and so my turn, I'm going to go ahead and use the print action, which lets me play a card, and I will play the jungle into my play area. That currently puts me at 2 points, but now I have that ability where if I refill, I will gain a level 1 card. And now it's the AI's turn, and we're going to draw 2 cards. The first one here being another light yellow, we'll stick it up there. And then the second one here being the soft cyan, and we'll place it there. Again, these are the cards that have no points, and these are the cards that have points. It's just for ease of reference for me. And then it's my turn here, and I'm going to go ahead and play the pale magenta, which lets me gain a cyan or yellow. I think I'll go ahead and gain the yellow here, and that goes into my hand. Now it's the AI's turn, so it's going to draw its first card, which is the magenta, and we'll place it here. And it's out of card, so we got to take its discard and shuffle that back up. And then it ends up with a mix as its second card here. So we will be mixing right now. Now, once again, the AI can't mix for a card that it already has, unless that's the only option. But in this case here, the AI has multiple options. It can take its 2 yellows there and mix into a lemon. It has a magenta and the fuchsia, which is 1 cyan and 2 magenta pigments. And it could mix into a violet here. And so when there are multiple options, you get to decide. And so you have to choose whether you want the AI to go for a second level card or a third level card or even a fourth level card. And it's often a difficult choice. I think for right now, I'm going to go ahead and have the AI mix for the lemon here. So it discards its 2 yellows and it gains the lemon, and we'll place that right there. And now it's my turn. I'm going to go ahead and play my light yellow card, which lets me refill 1 card. And so I can take any one of these cards back to my hand, and and my hand is empty right now. So we definitely need something. We'll go ahead and take the pale magenta back to my hand. But now my jungle triggers, since I did the refill action off of this card here. It triggers jungle, and I can gain a level 1 card. And I think I'll go ahead and gain another yellow. Alright, it's the AI's turn, and so the AI is going to flip over its first card is a magenta, and its second card is a cyan. And now we can see that the AI is going to mix next turn. And so for my turn here, I'm going to play the light yellow again, and that's going to refill this other light yellow back to my hand, but then I will gain a level 1 card, and I'm going to go ahead and gain another light yellow. Because I'm planning on buying a combination of cards with these. I definitely want to get the lemon here, so I have a double yellow pigment card to use later, and maybe I can use that with the magenta to get the orange. And at least that's my plan. Alright, now it's the AI's turn, and it's going to go ahead and mix. And so the AI's options are fuchsia, cerulean, orange, pear, and violet. And there may be more options. There's a lot it can take right now. So I kind of had to decide what I want it to have. I think I'm okay with it having a fuchsia for now. So that'll be its mix. And so we'll discard the 2 magentas. It'll gain a fuchsia to its hand. And so this time I think we'll have to let it have a cerulean. And so it uses its 2 cyans for that. All right, then for my turn, we already talked about, I'm going to use the 2 yellows there for the lemon, adding that to my hand. And now it's the AI's turn, and we have to reshuffle its deck. All right, and its first card it's going to draw is a yellow, so we'll place that there. And then the second card is a soft cyan. All right, so the next card I'm going to play is the pale magenta here, and we'll go ahead and take a soft cyan to my hand because it gives me a cyan or a yellow. And then it's the AI's turn, and it plays another card here to its hand. And then we're going to mix. Oh no. Now it doesn't have a jungle yet. I already have a jungle, so I think I'm okay with it gaining that jungle. And so it'll play these 2 cards for that. And then it'll add it here. That does put it at 4 points. And now for my turn, I'm going to go ahead and use my lemon and soft cyan to gain this pear to my hand. As you can see here. The pear requires 1 cyan and 2 yellow, and I've got 2 yellow and 1 cyan there. And so the cyan gets put back into the supply, and then any level 2s or 3s, when you use them to mix, they get put off to a discard over here. And now it's the AI's turn, and its first draw is a yellow, and its second draw is a mix. I think I'm going to be a little risky here. I'm going to let it use its cerulean and fuchsia here. You can see 2 blue and 2 magenta here. So I'll refer to cyan as blue sometimes. And that's going to get it a sapphire blue and place it right in its hand. Now, if at any point there are 16 cards in its hand area here, the AI will win the game. And then for my turn, I'm going to go ahead and play the pear card and place it in down here. As a reminder, the pear card gains me a level 1 card when I play a card. And now it's the AI's turn, so we flip over the first card. It's a magenta, second card, another magenta, and then it's back to my turn. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the refill action, the normal refill action. So that lets me take up any number of cards from my play area. I just want these 2 to go back to my hand. But this does trigger jungle, which gives me 1 more card. And I think we'll go ahead and get a cyan. And then it's the AI's turn, and it's going to mix for its first action. And we'll go ahead and let it mix the 2 magenta into a fuchsia, adding that there. And then for its second action, we'll have to shuffle the deck, and it'll play this card here to its hand. All right, my turn here. I'm going to go ahead and play the soft cyan and gain myself a yellow, I think. But in playing this card, the pair trigger effects happen at the end of the turn. And so it states for the pair effects, after your last print action in a turn, gain a rank 1 card to your hand. So even if you somehow print multiple cards, this only triggers once. But we'll go ahead and gain another cyan to my hand. And this is my hand currently, 2 yellows, a magenta, and a cyan. Now it's the AI's turn. It's going to mix for its first action, and it's going to be a mix for its second action. I would let it mix for the cerulean, but I kind of want that card, so I'm going to let it mix something else, I think. I guess that means I'll have to let it mix a raspberry here. Now, the cool thing about the raspberry card is when you mix a card, you can use any number of cards to mix instead of just 2. And when you play this card, you get a one-time bonus of 1 level rank 1 card. And to gain that card, the AI is going to have to pay its fuchsia and light yellow, and we'll add it up here. And for the second action, the AI is going to mix again. And this time it's going to mix for the turquoise here. So it'll take 2 blue and a yellow. It's got a yellow and blue on the jungle here and another blue on the cyan. And it'll go in the discard, gaining that card right here. Now for my action, I'm going to play the light yellow card here, gaining this back to my hand, triggering jungle, which gives me another card. And we'll go ahead and gain a magenta. And then at the end of that, because I printed a card here, I will gain another card and we'll gain another yellow. And now I've got a bunch of cards. And I think I might try and go for the sapphire blue victory. We'll see. And then it's the AI's turn, turning over 2 cards. We've got a magenta there and a magenta there. I think I'll go ahead and play the 2 cyan cards for the cerulean here. Now the cerulean card, it's 2 blue pigments, but when you play it, you get 2 of the same level 1 rank cards. So it's very useful for gaining lots of those cards. And then it's the AI's turn. It's going to go ahead and mix. Now, as you can see here, it does not have a fuchsia in its play area. It does have one in its discard, but since it doesn't have one in its play area, I can have it mixed for that one. I apologize. I referred to that as its play area. This is its hand. And then for my turn, I'll go ahead and play the cerulean. And let's see. Maybe I should gain more yellows? Yeah, let's go ahead and gain 2 yellows. And then for playing a card, the pair effect happens, and I'll gain another cyan. You know, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have let the AI get the fuchsia card, because now it's going to make it more difficult for me to get the sapphire blue card. But I think I can still pull it off. And then it's the AI's turn. Flip over that card. It's a yellow. We'll stick that there. The AI is now up to 9 points, so we're getting pretty close. And then this card, and there's its other fuchsia card. Wow, it's got all 3 fuchsia cards? Oh no, that's not good. I think I'll go ahead and spend 2 yellow here to gain this lemon to my hand. Now, the lemon card lets you mix twice when you use your mixing action. And then for the AI, it plays its first card, which is a cerulean. And then we'll have to shuffle for its second card. And then its second card here is a jungle. I'll place it up here. That's going to put the AI now, let's see, 2, 4, 10, 11 points. So we're getting way too close. I'm going to go ahead and do the mix action with the pale magenta and the lemon to get an orange here. And then the AI will play its 2 cards. We have a fuchsia, and then it's going to mix. So we'll go ahead and mix for the violet here. It'll take 1 fuchsia and 1 cyan, and discarding those, adding this to its hand. And then my turn here, I'm going to play this yellow, and I will take the cerulean back to my hand. That'll gain me a card from jungle. We'll take another cyan, and then from the prince, we'll gain another card, and we'll gain another yellow. And then the AI's turn is going to play another card. It's a soft cyan, and it's going to mix. All right, so it doesn't have a pair, so we're going to let it get a pair there. It's going to take the lemon and the cyan, and it'll add that to its hand. It's only at 12 points right now, but again, it's really close. It's got enough points in its deck to help it win. So I have to try for that sapphire blue, I think, at this point if I'm going to win. Because I only have 1 to 7 points right now. And so I'll go ahead and play the orange card here. And that'll gain me the pair action, and we'll take another yellow. That's going to place me at now 10 points. So getting really close. Now the orange lets me, when I mix, I get to then play that card as a print action. So that's very useful. And I forgot to refill that. All right, now it's the AI's turn. So the AI is going to get pale magenta and another pale magenta. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix magenta and yellow to gain the coral card. With the coral card, I can go ahead and play it due to the orange here, and then I'll immediately gain a magenta back to my hand. On top of that, I will gain another card from my pair, and we'll gain another magenta there. And now the coral card is pretty cool because it allows me, when I mix, to use cards from my play area or my hand or both. And with that play, I'm now at 12 points. And it's the AI's turn, so it's going to go ahead and mix. And this is where it gets tough making these decisions, because with the AI at 12 points, pretty much any card it can mix at this point is going to give it points. It doesn't have a coral here, so I think that one's going to go ahead and get mixed, and so these two will go, and that one gets added. And then for the second card, the AI plays a yellow, and now the AI is up to 14 points. Alright, so I'm going to do a mix action here. And again, with the coral here, I can use cards from this row here. I'm trying to mix for the raspberry here, and it takes 2 magenta and 1 yellow. The coral here has a magenta and a yellow. And so I'm going to take that along with 1 yellow from my hand and mix. And that's going to gain me the raspberry, which using my orange ability, I'll get to play right away. Now this has a continuous ability where I can use any number of cards to do a mix, and then I go ahead and gain 1 level 1 card to my hand, and I'll gain another yellow. On top of that, the pair action occurs, and I gain another card, and will gain another yellow. And now it's the AI's turn, so the AI is going to go ahead and shuffle its deck, and it's ready to mix again. Oh no. It doesn't have any orange in play right now, so I'm going to use its coral and its light yellow to mix for this orange. Thankfully, that leaves it with the same amount of points. It has 14 points right now. Alright, then for my turn, I'm going to go ahead and use the raspberry action, spending 2 blue and 2 yellow to gain the emerald green card. And remembering with the orange card here, I can go ahead and play it. Now, the emerald green card doesn't have any effects at all. It just reminds you that 17 points equals a win because it comes with a lot of points. We're talking 6 points here. You can only have 1 of these in your play area, but with 6 points there, that puts me at 19 points. Can you believe that? Wow, that was quite the recovery there. So we got 6, 9, 10, 11, 14, 16, 19 points. And since the AI went first in the game, my turn is the last turn in the round, and the game ends right here with me winning 19-14. And so there you have it. That was a solo playthrough of Chroma Mix. Again, look for it June 1st on GameFound. Check out the links in my description. Follow the game there. There is a lot more to this game than meets the eye, and I'll happily share those thoughts in my preview video later. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here, and I thank you very much for watching Tabletop for One. Have a great night.